You clicked on the title because you like spy thrillers, didn't you? Well, let's talk about The Amateur. Rami Malek is back, and this time he's not a hacker or a rock star. He's a man with nothing to lose. And the result is one of the most gripping thrillers I've seen this year. The Amateur might sound like your typical spy thriller, CIA, encrypted messages, global terrorism, but trust me, it's anything but standard. This movie is directed by James Hawes, known for Slow Horses and Black Mirror. This film feels lean, sharp, and emotional. It's not trying to reinvent the genre. It's focused on telling one man's story with precision. If you don't know what it's about, basically a husband wife gets murdered in a global terrorist attack and he seeks revenge because he feels the people that are in charge of him, his supervisors, do not care enough. So he's like, you know what? Let me take it into my own hands.
Have you lost your mind?
I want to find and kill the people who murdered my wife.
I don't think you could beat a 90-year-old nun in an arm wrestling match.
So you really don't look at him and say, "Oh yeah, this guy's gonna do something." He's not the typical 007 type of dude. He's not really like the Punisher who's in this movie. By the way, he just looks like Rami Malek. I mean, let's be honest. Rami plays Charles Heller, a CIA decoder who suddenly finds himself out in the field after a personal tragedy. You know, wife being murdered, and he sells every second of it. Okay, he's quiet, he's calculated, but always looks like he's on the verge of just breaking down. What you might call controlled chaos, and he does it so well. I put this honestly right up there with Mr. Robot. And not because it has to do with like hacking and being a decoder and the character is super super smart. It just had the same feel, like it wasn't as dark as Mr. Robot, but you felt for the man, honestly. Rachel Brosnan also holds her own, but the movie it really lives and dies with Malik. I mean, it's really centered on this man going through a journey of not only grief but also trying to become tough. Essentially, he's not taken serious by anybody in the movie. Honestly, his wife loves him for who he is and loves the fact that he's kind of like this chill person, but she wants him to take chances. She wants him to take risk at some point. And unfortunately, it takes her dying for him to actually do that. This is not your typical CIA thriller where you see explosions and car chases and a bunch of shootings and all that. This is not what that is. It's a very slow paced, grounded film that really speaks to the strength of Malik's character, which is his intelligence. Lawrence Fishburne is in this movie, and honestly, I feel like they just want Lawrence to basically train all the different types of Neos. I mean,
Take it. Take it.
Aye.
Point it at my chest. Do it now. Put your finger on the trigger. You can't do what I do no matter how much I train you.
he's trained Neo, he's helped John Wick, and honestly, now he is helping Malik in this. There's no spoilers here, but I really want to talk about a scene that I felt wrung the tension. Remember, he is going after the killers of his wife. Okay, so when he goes after the first one, he kind of has to decide if he wants to be a killer or not. And in this moment, it really does bring the tension. Okay, he's trying to find out information. He's in the lady's house, and honestly, I thought, man, this is it. This is what's going to happen. It didn't give you a lot of tension to the point where you're like, "Oh man, I can't handle it," but it gave you enough to make you feel like, "Man, this guy better hurry up and decide what he wants to do because he is in over his head." One thing I thought stood out on this was the fact that they kind of used his grief as a way to kind of push him forward. Okay, it was really a lot in this movie. Grief was a major point for several characters. It wasn't just for him, you know. And it was one of those things where I felt like they did really well. At first when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know. But then as it kept going along, I was like, okay, I kind of dig this. It's a cool way to show that he's still thinking about his wife and she's kind of helping him in a memory. You also didn't really know if he was gonna break because of it. There was a part where he did cry, but you didn't know, like, man, is he just gonna give up and say, screw this? It really kind of, for me, made me feel for the guy. It gave him some depth. That being said, this movie is not about saving the world. Okay? It's about grief and obsession. And what happens when someone with the skills to fight back finally chooses, except not in the way that most people do. Sometimes you fight with your fist, sometimes you fight with your brain. It reminded me of the old saying, brain versus brawn. Honestly, this guy's brain is bigger than some people's muscle. That being said, let me know what's your favorite spy thriller in the comments. Okay, I am a huge spy thriller fan. I love trying to solve the mystery, and I want to know which one really got you guys going. Bonus points if it's something most people slept on. Now, if it was one little thing that I had to say I didn't really like about this movie, was the fact that there were certain characters that I really felt like really didn't need to be there. You know, especially John Bernthal's character. I felt like he was useless, and he's John Bernthal. You know what I mean? But it's just one of those things that I just felt like, okay, what was the point of this? It also felt on a tad on the long side, but I can understand why they wanted to give the main character some depth. They wanted to show what he had to go through, a little bit of his journey. You know, so I definitely understand it. It's just for me, I felt like it was a little bit too long. That's all. The bottom line is The Amateur is a slow burn thriller with a beating heart. And Rami Malek reminds us why he's one of the most compelling actors working today. I mean, the man has an Oscar. It's smart, it's personal, and it's definitely worth your time. That being said, I give The Amateur overall rating of a B plus. It gives a solid effort to the spy thriller film without being too crazy with explosions and all this other stuff. You're gonna fall in love with the character. You're gonna want him to do what he needs to do. You're gonna be there every step of the way. Have you seen The Amateur? If so, what is your rating? Drop it down in the comments. I would love to hear about it. If you haven't seen it, are you planning to check it out? Are you a Rami Malek fan? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and hit the notification bell because next week we got another banger for you. That being said, life is too short to watch bad movies, so let me help you with that. Hey, thanks for watching to the end of the video. You must have liked it, so hit that subscribe button. And if you want to watch the next video, it's right here, man. Go ahead. What you waiting for?